different type of measurements now to measure the amount, the distances. It's now like what, light years and all kinds of units of measurements to measure the universe. It's impossible, man. You do not have the capacity or the mental, abilities, man, for you to just. It's not for you to do. I believe in the Apocrypha it tells you, man, the things that were given to man were those things that under the heavens, something like that. If I'm not reading it correctly, but something like that. The men are only given the things that are under heaven.
Yeah, you should only try to fathom the things that are given to you.
Yeah.
Some things are beyond your understanding. Like you can't, like Esau tries to say that there's no God. Because Esau is not the Most High. Esau can't understand. There's things out there that are greater than him. That are beyond his understanding. That's the greatest mistake that man ever made, is when you start to try and say that there's no God, that there's nothing beyond you, that you're the greatest entity. Exactly, that you created that you placed everything here. That's blasphemy. That in itself is blasphemy.
Yeah, basically. But Esau's it's gonna be known who that there is a power. It's gonna be declared, and they're gonna be put to shame, as you just read. So that's what's getting ready to go down, man. Go on, bro.
So like, I just had a point as well. I was thinking about this when I was at home just this week. The most dangerous type of scientist is the type of scientist who doesn't acknowledge a higher power, because it shows that, just like the Bible just said there, they think that they're themselves God. Right. And that guy Stephen Hawking, before he died, he had a book out which is called A Brief History of the Universe, which shows the pride. Shalom. Yeah, Stephen Hawking done a book called A Brief History of the Universe, which shows how proud Esau is that he thinks he can give a brief account of all things in the universe. And that man never even left his chair. How's he so smart that he can work out a brief history of the universe, but he can't work out how to get out of that stupid chair?
Right, exactly, man.
That was funny what they loaned it to that man. One of their greatest minds is subjected to his whole life in a wheelchair, man. He can't just like this. That's it, man. His whole life. How long? I think like 20 years or something.
More than 20.
It was more than that.
Most of his life.
I mean, from the time he was still in school, he said he got that disease that subjected him to that chair, man.
Maybe that's the most humbling his ass, man.
Yep, that's
Trying to
it.
make him see how stupid he was, man. Made him gas him up with that intelligence, but then he still can't figure out why he can't get out of
that damn chair.
That damn chair, man. The most I stuck him there.
But the same way, when a baby shits himself, the way you take the baby and clean it up, that's how that man all his life. That's how they had to change it.
That was good, didn't it? Because if it's
Put him
pride,
in the bed, diapers.
pride.
Somebody will come and wipe his ass and shit.
Just to show him how stupid he is.
Yeah. Basically.
This is I got something.
Yeah, you go on, bro.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 3, verse 21. Seek no yeah, got you, bro. Ecclesiasticus 3, verse 21. Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee.
Right.
Neither search the things that are above thy strength.
Exactly, and that's what Esau is trying to do. He's trying to seek out that's above his strength. Like measuring the heavens, trying to find out if he can actually build a ship or a spaceship likened unto the chariots of the Lord. You can't do that, man. Because what Esau don't understand is that there's dimensions, and we're at the lowest dimension. So you can't use technology of this dimension to create something to duplicate which is of the high dimension. It's not gonna happen, man. They couldn't even make it to the goddamn moon in 1969. So how the hell are they gonna come up with this technology to measure the earth and to do all of this craziness? Go on, bro.
This
let them finish that. Go on.
But what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence.
Yeah, so Esau don't want to think upon the commandments. He don't want to do that. He wants to go astray and top the commandments and try to find out his own wisdom. Try to find out what he can do. Go on.
For it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret.
It's inconvenient. You don't need to see that. What you need to do is do what you got to do down here on earth. But Esau ain't doing that. Esau's trying to find other ways how he can make life better. Trying to supersede the wisdom and understanding of the Most High. That's really the thing that he wants to do.
Exactly. Like the Most High's ways is not good enough.
Right.
Go on. Try and better it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto thee, then men understand.
Right. Yeah. Somebody get me Thessalonians, where it talks about he exalted himself as the Most High.
Yeah.
Can I bring
There's
this
another
real quick,
precept.
just to go with this?
You're going, bro.
This is Deuteronomy 29. Deuteronomy 29 and 29, and it says, "The secret things belong unto the Lord our power,
Right.
but those things which are revealed belong unto us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law."
And also what is the secret things? So the breakdowns of the scriptures. So you have secret things that the Heavenly Father knows, and you have secret things that the prophets would only know. That Esau would die to know, but he can't know it because it wasn't given to him to know. You see? So by us knowing what we know, that's actually supposed to be. Like, for example, the whole idea of us inhabiting all of these different planets. Pursuant to the book of Luke, what is it, 14? No, it's John 14:1, where it says, "The Lord have made many mansions, and what would I be had I not told you?" I'm roughly paraphrasing. You see, so that's for us to know. Go on, brother.
I got these two precepts, right? This is Isaiah chapter 45,
Show on, brother.
verse 6. Yo. Isaiah 45, verse 6, right?
About him too.
That they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me. I am Yahweh, I am the Lord, and there is none else.
Yeah,
Right?
so there's only one power. There's no other great power out there. I mean, come on, like, think about it. Who created the sky? Who created the clouds? He created all of the elements that man has to use. There has to be a super intelligence that created all of these things.
Yeah.
Because I know last time I checked, I didn't see no man making the elements of the earth or making a bird, actually creating a bird from scratch.
Right.
That it can actually move and it has life in it.
Yeah.
I've never seen a man inject life into a living being. Never seen that. We all never seen that. So there's another intelligence that have done this sort of thing. Okay?
Right.
And then damn sure ain't Esau. Go on, brother.
Right. This is now another precept. Thinking how America tries to be like God. Isaiah 47.
It's really Esau, brother.
Right.
Go on.
Isaiah 47, verse 7. "And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever.
Oh, okay. I see.
So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it.
Yeah.
Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly,
Yeah.
that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me.
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children.
Right.
But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day,
Yeah.
the loss of children and widowhood."
But you know, though, brother, you got to go back up a little bit. About three verses. Because there was a point that you read over.
Right. Oh, yeah. Isaiah 47, verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen.
Yeah.
I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
And we just read that already. Keep going.
As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel.
Yep.
Sit thou silent, and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms.
Right. Go on.
I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy.
Right. In other words, the lady represented them not having to experience penetration, because all of the other nations were penetrable. Well, he penetrated all of the other nations, like Japan was penetrated, and all of these other countries that fought in the world wars, they experienced their own level of degradation, but America was never touched.
Yeah.
But America's going to experience nuclear penetration, and when that happens, America's going to be totally wiped out of the scene.
Right.
Even though they got so much weaponry and they got the high tech resources of war, they still gonna lose the battle. So when the Lord sets this thing up, they're gonna be wiped out, man. Like I said, go on, brother.
Thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. So excuse me, let me read verse 6. I was wroth with my people, I polluted my inheritance, and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy, upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it.
Right, neither did they remember the latter end. They didn't remember that things were going to happen in the last days. Like, for example, as we always talk about, their destruction. That's really what's going to take place within their latter end, is that they're going to see their own demise and their own despair. Okay, they never considered, okay, if we do all of this nasty work and polluting the Lord's inheritance, there's going to be some kind of payback for that. They never thought about that. They just kept moving forward and planned ahead of time, not planning, smart enough in their actions. So I want one minute, brother. Let them continue to read.
Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly.
Right, that dwellest carelessly. The people, the American people, they don't care word for down what's going on in the world, around the world, or in their own world. As long as they get their goods,
Right.
they good to go. As long as they got that 4K TV and they got their little nice cars, that's all they really care about. They don't care about what's going on outside of the world or in their own.
Right.
Go on, brother. So they dwelling carelessly, man.
Right. I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thy enchantments.
It's telling you right there, their loss of children, because the children of America are those sorcerers and those that do witchcraft, and it's going to break it all the way down. Keep going.
For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me.
Right, they have said, none seeth me. These secret councils, the Trilateral Commission, okay, the Bilderberg meeting. And really, I'm just speaking amongst the Edomites, because America, they have their own little, councils in that. Right, the Council of Foreign Relations. All right, they conspire together in the White House. So they thinking that no one's seeing them, and including the Lord ain't seeing them, but not realizing that the Lord is actually seeing everything, because the eyes of the Lord are beholding every place. That's what they don't recognize, man. Go on, brother.
For thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it have perverted thee.
Right, thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it have perverted thee. Somebody get me in the Apocrypha, where it says wisdom of wickedness is not wisdom. Somebody get me that. That's
and the word pervert means truth. And like convert means with truth. Pervert means like the opposite of convert. There's no truth. There's no truth. The wisdom of this place is no truth. There's no truth in this place. That's why people hate truth, man. They hate us. Because we're the physical representatives of truth. We're the preachers of truth. And this place despises truth. This place is all about lies, man. That's why it says this place is full up of lies and robberies. Woe unto the rebellious city or something like that. It's all full of lies and robberies. This place is based upon lies, man. Everything is based upon lies here, man. Everything here, man. The people, all they believe in is dreams, lies. They got all these ambitions, and then none of it's of the truth, man. People don't care about what's really going on in the world, man, because it spoils the fantasies, man. The lies that's in them, man. The media's full up of lies, man. The television, we switch on the television, full up of lies, man. People, they live lies. You see them, they're all living in that lie. The Bible is the truth. You live this, you're living in reality, man. You're living in truth. But the society has demonized this book and made it look like the truth is a lie. You see what I'm saying? They turned the Bible into a fantasy, man. TV. There's a TV program series called The Messiah, and they put like some East Indian.
Yeah, I saw that.
So it's called Messiah on Netflix. Is it Netflix? They fucking little East Indian Iranian motherfucker, man, with long hair. I'm looking at it, saying, oh, will he convert thee?
Out of a seat.
You got him in the chair, just sitting there like he's Caesar bullshit, like he's some holy character. That's blasphemy, man. The directors of that movie, they're gonna get a nuclear missile right from China, man. For that. That's blasphemy. So the Lord's being disrespected on a regular basis in Babylon, man. He's literally being disrespected. He's been told that he looks like an Edomite.
Yeah, it's a rock.
It's coming to save everybody.
Yeah, I got it.
You know what I'm saying? They're completely dishonoring Yahushua.
Yeah, so brother, read what you got. And then he can read that shit. Go on.
Read verse 10 again.
You pervert thee.
Right, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, they have perverted thee.
Right, they have perverted themselves. They've perverted themselves with their wickedness. Because see, wickedness will always backfire. It always does. You can't do evil and think that it's going to work out for you. It may work out for you for a good old while, but there's a backfire to it at the end of their life. You see, and the reason as to why it perverted their ounces because of this right here. Read that.
Sirach, chapter 19, verse 22. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence.
Right, the counsel of sinners prudence. Like you just read about, they hide in secret places.
Right.
The Lord sees them not.
Yeah.
Roughly paraphrase.
They're saying none seeth me.
Yes. Yeah, so that's just the thing. They think the Lord ain't seeing them, and what they don't recognize is their level of wisdom, which is not wisdom anyway, wickedness.
Right, bro.
Yeah, people are always nosy, man. People are always nosy, you know? Yeah, we're preaching. We're preaching.
Black guys. Yeah, he's trying to get him.
Yeah, just have a nice day. Just have a nice day, man. Yeah, because you're drunk.
Leave it.
If you want to stand around, you can stand around. I don't care. Go on, bro.
Don't understand.
You done? Can I go? Are you finished?
Yeah, go.
That's how you know that people ain't got a life, man. They gotta come over here when they see a bunch of jakes around here. They just got to come over here.
They want some mandingos. There's a group of them, innit? They want some mandingos.
I am a mandingo, I remember that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I am.
Go over there then. I'm joking.
But really the correct pronunciation, it's not Mandingo, but that's just the name of the show. But it's really the Mandinka tribe. So they saying it wrong. It's Mandinka.
Yeah.
For real though?
Yeah, you say it like Mandinka in Senegal, in Sierra Leone, you say Mandingo.
And Mali.
And Mali, yeah.
One guy, he had a name called Adamo, and so he was from Mali. He said he's a Mandingo.
Mandinka, yeah.
His name was Adamo. I told him his name is Hebrew. He said, no, it's not Hebrew. No, his name is Hebrew.
Which the word Adama goes back to the word ground.
Yeah.
Hebrew. And when you actually know of the West African dialect, it's actually broken Hebrew too.
Yeah.
Some of the law guys, they don't like to tell them about where they're from. You can tell me about things about where I'm from.
They get offended. I got this. This is Ecclesiasticus 19 and 22. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom.
Yeah.
Neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence.
And that goes right along with what you just read, that precept. Because at the end of the day, their wisdom is going to fail them at the end. Even their blessing. Their blessing alone is going to be to their curse. What is the blessing of Esau? He was given the sword to destroy. That's how he would have the fatness or the best parts of the earth. But by that being the case, he's going to be destroyed, man. Go on, bro. Read that.
This Ezekiel 28 and 1, and it says, the word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God.
Right, because thou hast said that thou hast said that he is a God, right? That's what he said. He said that he is a God. Go on.
I sit in the seat of God, I am a God. So like you say, I sit in the seat of God in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man.
So Esau's coming in what is it, the Prince of Tyre, right? He's coming in that Prince of Tyre spirit, that proud, arrogant, boastful spirit. Because he's above everybody else. And he's above the seas, which the seas represent the people. Hold on there, right? Get me Revelations 17. Somebody get me Revelation 17, verse 16. Because the seas is talking about the nations round about. Now, when you read the book of, Revelations, the 21st chapter, where it says that John the Revelator saw no sea, meaning he didn't see no other nations. But we're going to break it all the way down. Go on, brother. Yeah.
So, Revelation 17 and 16, and it says, and the 10 whores which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
Right.
You go on.
Okay. For the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree.
Right.
and to give their kingdom unto the beast.
Now, it's Salaki. It's Revelation 17, verse probably 4. Isn't it?
What is it looking for?
Yeah, it talks about what is it, man? The rivers, something to that effect.
Waters.
The waters, right? The
You
waters.
sit upon the waters.
Yeah, I think.
Maybe that's number 15.
14 or something.
17 and 15.
Yeah. So it's Revelation 17 and 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues.
So that breaks it all the way down. So the waters is referring to the nations. Now give me Revelations 20 and verse 1.
So this is Revelation chapter 20 verse 1. And I saw an angel came down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a chain and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent which is the devil and Satan, and bowed.
21. My bad. 21.
This is Revelation 21 and 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea.
Right, and there was no more sea. In other words, there was no other nations. And I'm gonna break it down. Go on.
Verse 2. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of the heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men.
Yeah, so basically what that speaks on is the sea that he saw no more was the other nations. Because in the old world, what did he say in the first verse? He says, he has seen a new heavens and a new earth, right? So what was the old world all about? The previous nations that ruled at one time. So what is the new world going to be about? The new world is going to be about the everlasting kingdom upon Jerusalem. Because there was time periods among the nations that they ruled in during the old world. But there's not going to be no time periods for these other nations coming back into power in the newer age. You see, but the sea represents the people, the other nations. That's why he didn't see the other nations. He just saw the new Jerusalem. Because in the new world, it's only going to be based on New Jerusalem, which were the new Jerusalem. You know? Yeah, Shalom, brother. You know? Yeah, so that's all I wanted. Yeah, read what you got.
That was me.
Who was reading?
He was reading.
Yeah, go on, brother.
Back to Ezekiel 28 and 2, and it says, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God.
Yeah, so that's the same thing with Esau. Esau's heart has been lifted up, and now he's saying he's the Most High, as was prophesied in the book of Thessalonians. He exalted himself like he is the Most High. You understand? And he do it, and he sit up in the seat of the Most High. So his heart is lifted up. But when your heart is lifted up and exalted, what happens next? You become abased. That's the next level, or that's the next road that Esau is going to go to. Go on, brother.
It says, I sit in the seat of God in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man, and not God. Though thou hast set thine heart as the heart of God.
Right.
Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel.
Right, thou art wiser than Daniel. Go on.
There is no secret that they can hide from thee.
Right, and there's no secret that they can hide from thee. In other words, Esau knows everything. He does his research. See, Jake, they do research, but Jake really, in comparison to Esau, they don't do no damn research, man. Right. You know, Esau's doing everything. He's looking into the depths of what is it, to see what's going on with the creatures on earth and just how nature is set up.
Yeah.
But what they won't understand and won't know is the mysteries of what we know, the kingdom. Because as it says in the book of Daniel 12, it says that the righteous shall be made white, in other words, purified, but the wicked shall not understand.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't given for them to understand. Go on, brother.
And it says, verse 4, with thy wisdom and with thine understanding thou hast gotten thee riches.
Right.
And hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasure.
And that's another reason why Esau is above and beyond, because the Lord gave him wisdom and understanding. Why you think Solomon was so? Why you think Solomon had the riches that he had? Because of wisdom and understanding. And that's how you uphold a system. If you lack in wisdom and understanding, you can't run an empire. You gotta have some level of wisdom and understanding to run an empire, or to run anything that's huge. So he's been given that. But the same way the Lord gave him that wisdom and understanding is the same way he's going to take it away from him.
Yeah.
Go on, brother.
And it says, verse 5, it said, by thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches.
In other words, business. Traffic means business. From the word, I believe the word is kanan, which means business. Go on, brother.
And thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches.
Right.
Therefore thou saith the Lord power, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of the Most High. Behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee,
Right.
the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their sword against the beauty of thy wisdom.
Exactly.
And they shall and they shall defile thy brightness.
And they shall defile thy brightness. So them Russians, they got those missiles. The Iranians got what they got. The people of Syria, okay, the Turkish people, they all connected and ready to go and pretty much go toe to toe with America.
Right.
But really no one's gonna win. Or everybody's gonna lose. And while everybody's losing and destroying each other, guess who's coming? The Messiah is gonna return secretly, or suddenly. Let me say that suddenly, where they when they least expect. And when he comes in, they're gonna stop what they're doing and they're gonna want to fight the Messiah. But what's gonna happen is they're gonna lose that war miserably, and then we're gonna be delivered, and then we're gonna be exercising what John the Revelator was saying, the New Jerusalem. We're gonna be coming back down from earth, out of those showers, and we're gonna set up the new kingdom. And all of these other nations, post-nuclear war, they're gonna be in a state of confusion, bugged out their mind, and we're gonna round these jokers up, and we're gonna put them in captivity.
That's right.
And the ones that have died in the war, they're gonna come back in the reincarnation or into slavery.
He was.
Exactly. Go on, brother. You let him finish this, and you can see what you gotta say. Go on.
It said, verse 7, it said, behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon. I read that. Verse 8, it
Read it
says,
again, it's all right.
okay. Verse 7 says, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations.
Right, the terrible of the nations. In other words, the nations that have the superior nuclear power. Go on.
And they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness.
And they should defile thy brightness. So their wisdom and understanding is going to be pretty much to naught, to nothing. Because when America is wiped out, the whole Western civilization, or the Western way of life, which the Western civilization has its wisdom and its philosophy, don't it? Let's get that in Revelation the 17th chapter. Somebody give me that. Revelation 17 verse where it says that the nations have lived deliciously.
So this is our Revelation 17.
That's not 17. That's not 17.
Deliciously.
They live deliciously. The nations have lived deliciously with you.
That's somewhere in 18.
That's got to be 17.
18.
Oh, 18. Right. Yeah, because that goes.
This is it's I believe it's Revelations 18 and 7.
Oh, he got it.
How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and I am no widow, and I shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her place come in one day, death and mourning and famine. And she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord Yahweh by Sham Yahushai, power, who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication,
That's the one,
and lived deliciously with her, shall bewail her and lament.
Why are they going to bewail her? Because America is going to be destroyed, which is the land that they've made money off and became severely rich. That's the word I wanted to use. So they're going to remember the amount of money they was making, because they were making billions and billions of dollars selling their goods. That's going to be no more, and it's going to have to result these countries as being poor again. But they're not going to have to worry about that. What they need to worry about is those missiles flying from from the left hand side to the right hand side, okay, or whatever, every side, destroying their country. That's what they need to worry about. But anyway, read that one more time, then I'm going to get back to that one verse. Get back to the verse that you was reading.
Verse 9. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her.
Shall bewail her. Now we're going to read this.
Verse 7 again.
Yeah.
Back to Ezekiel 28 and 7, and it says, Behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness.
And they shall defile thy brightness, go on.
And it says, verse 8, And they shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas.
Exactly. The nations are going to be slain. Those that got involved in that nuclear war, and that's literal too, because you're going to have those military powers that are going to be in the seas too. Like you have your what is it, man? Your submarines and your torpedoes and the likes. So they're gonna pretty much get blown away in that. And all of this folliness that we see, that I've just seen, right, just walk right past it. Yeah, that's gonna be done away with. That Barbie doll bullshit is gonna be done away with, man. It's cold, man. Yeah, and they really doing it because no one's paying attention to them. When women don't get the attention they want, especially these young women, they do all kind of shit just to get attention, because their life is boring, you see. Go on, brother.
But that's that time, though. That's the time of wickedness.
Yeah.
No.
And I noticed that Eve ain't really putting that color in her hair anymore. I noticed that a lot of so-called black women, they going natural now. They not wearing that weave shit. Some of them are still doing it, but you got these Edomite women, they putting color in their hair. They just trying to show off themselves because no one's really checking them out anymore. They're not the they're not the Barbie doll that every man wants anymore.
Standard of beauty.
Yeah. So things are changing, man. Go on, brother. Things have changed.
Verse 9, and it says, Wilt thou yet say before him that slaved thee, I am God? But thou, it says, but thou shalt be a man, and not God, in the hand of him that slaved thee.
Yeah, so Esau is just a man, just like what was said to Tyre, because he exalted himself because he was above the nations. It's going to be found out that Esau, you just a man, man. No matter what kind of wisdom you got, no matter what kind of technology you got, which was given to you by the Most High anyway. Yeah. Come on, man, you're going to lose with that technology, especially the technology of war that they got, which is based on the sword. Like I like to always quote what Yahushua told Peter. What did Yahushua tell Peter? He that liveth by the sword will die by the sword.
That's right.
So with that war technology that Esau has maximized, he's going to get done in with that. Go on, brother.
And it says, Thou shalt die the deaths of the uncircumcised by the hand of strangers.
Yeah, in other words, the other nations, because the other nations, they didn't believe in circumcision. Only the Israelites did, which is our people. We believed in circumcision. And you got the ones of our people that still practice circumcision in West Africa. You know, you got brothers from West Africa, and that's in his camp that can tell you that. Because that goes back to the ancient forefathers in the scriptures. They also kept the law, of course. And they still keep the law to this very day. Go on, brother.
It says, For I have spoken it, saith the Lord power. And that's it.
All right. You're going, bro.
Just a quick point about Esau and his lies. His whole society is built upon lies. This is just a quick one. This is Proverbs chapter 20 and 17. It says, The bread of deceit is sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth shall be filled with gravel. So basically Esau's lies are all coming out.
It's all coming to bite him, yeah.
His mouth's filled with gravel. This is Proverbs chapter 20 and 17. It says, bread of deceit is sweet unto a man, but afterwards his mouth shall be filled with gravel.
That's all lies, man. When you tell someone a lie, you're telling them something that eases their ego, something that pleases their ego, man, that pleases their feelings. But then when it's over time, when life and reality starts to manifest itself, it shows you that it was bullshit, man. It doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole